Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome to Iwakura Aria, the trial version, which I got a little bit of early access for, but as of the release of this video, I believe you can now actually download this exact trial version over on Steam. Everywhere else, I have no idea. But thank you to the folks over at P-Cube for, reaching out to me about this to see if I had any interest at all about Iwakura Aria, and I mean, absolutely I do. I remember hearing about this whenever it first got posted about a few months ago, and I mean, I didn't look too deeply into it. It just looked very, very different. Art style definitely stands out. It's mages, and apparently, apparently there's some Yuri, which if you guys don't know much about me, I don't know much about me either, but Yuri, that's all I need. That's really all I ever need in life. A good story, sure, but if there's Yuri included, count me in. Sign me up. Absolutely. So the trial version here has a few scenarios that you can jump into, and that's it. I don't know what, or where they're, actually picked from in the overall story, in the overall complete visual novel, but I'm sure this is just to kind of give us a good enough glimpse. No crazy spoilers, just enough to really pique the interest, which, I'm here for it 100%. So we'll definitely go ahead and jump in. And again, thank you to P-Cube for reaching out. Happy to jump in here and check out what we got going on here. So I actually tried to get going here, but I didn't pay attention to this. And they don't give you enough time to read all those instructions. So if this is still loud, I might be a little screwed here. Okay, I can work with this. Yeah, I was trying to turn down the volume last time, but I don't know the button layout, and then I accidentally pressed everything incorrectly. So this is actually take two. Okay, somebody needs to pick up their phone already. Okay. Oh, something else I forgot to point out while we were in the menu. So, we get an opening sequence. I don't know if I can really show this. Oh well, I'll probably just mute the audio, but really wonderful imagery that we're getting. This isn't real stuff, is it? It can't be. No, this is all 3D. Okay, yeah, it 100% is. I was gonna say, there's no way. There's no way. I think it's okay to show this. I wasn't told otherwise, and it looks wonderful. This is actually like a lot of visual novels are in 1080p. However, I can't fake it, just bring it up to 1440p like I always do. So this is actually just at 1080p. It's just that I will, I'm recording and gonna upload this at 1440p. So if it looks a little weird here and there, that's why. That's kind of what's going on here. Sorry if you guys can hear my dogs, but yeah, this is really cool. I love this opening sequence that we have here. I really dig it. I also like these little panels. No, I definitely dig this. I have no idea what's going on, so no worries. I don't think you can get spoiled, especially if you have no idea who these characters are or what the context is. Now, if you do, a different story. But yeah, I'm with it. I'm definitely digging the style that we're already being presented here. Very gothic, that is for sure. I think that's the right theme we're going for here. Iwakura Aria, let's go. Yeah, this was on my radar, but I did not anticipate being able to jump into it whatsoever, so this is really cool. A beautiful painting. I had a feeling that the sunflowers wouldn't bloom this year. Surely the morning glories wouldn't bloom either.
天使の彫刻眠ってる
I'm sure that's because it feels so out of place here. Even if you plant seeds here, it's not like they will even sprout.
門から玄関まで歩くってだけでも驚くのに敷地の中に噴水まであるなんて
The government declared a few years after that I was born that we as a nation were no longer in the post-war period.
ここだけ日本じゃないみたい
I didn't even know it was possible to be this incredibly wealthy. I guess you can't imagine the likes of something you have never seen before. The grounds are so vast. From here, the gatekeeper looks so small. It has been exactly 1 week since I stepped foot into this completely new world, where even the air I breathe feels different from any other place I've lived until now. It all began when I had met the head of the household, a man named Amane Iwakura. I actually watched the one of the trailers. Oh, wow. Look at this. We're already getting some panels. I love it. I watched the trailer before this, the one of the announcement trailers, so I have a little bit of an idea of the setup, but also not really. I really don't want to go to job interviews. At the beginning of the month, I quit the construction company I had been working at since I graduated from junior high school. It had only been about a year since I started there. I even told myself I wouldn't run away, no matter what happened. Both my boss and his business partners were much older than me, yet I had to deal with their advances every single day. Ugh, indeed. The feeling of that huge moist hand grabbing my thigh on my last day there, it still clings to my skin. It just won't go away.
あんた、何一丁前にため息なんかついてんの。ため息をつきたいのはこっちよ。全然売れてないじゃない。
だってガラクタばっかりなんだもんこんなの誰も買ってくれないって
買ってくれないじゃなくて売るの。あんたが出戻ったせいでうちも大変なんだから。分かってんの？
This is Kitagawa Orphanage. It's the place where I spent the majority of my childhood while I was being moved around to different foster parents and institutions. I spent the last year here before I was eligible for employment somewhere. We were hosting a bazaar that day to raise money to help with the orphanage's operating costs. Tableware with ugly patterns, towels with the colors faded, and the crown jewel of the lot was a doll with a creepy face. It was all so ridiculous. Shit, I'd probably buy something. Maybe out of pity, but, you know, why not have some creepy doll, right? Right? Everything was lined up in front of me, and all of them were items that seemed like they were particularly unlikely to sell. That's... It was a watercolor painting I made of a bird. I've almost never been praised for it, but I loved creating works of art ever since I was little. Usually I just doodle some things in my sketchbook, but since I came back to the orphanage, I've been doing some paintings while I spend time with the younger kids. It was only in those moments that I could just forget about everything and enjoy myself. However, much to my dismay, this caught the attention of one of the staff, and since they thought it would help liven things up, they ended up selling my art at the bazaar. Maybe I should just quit painting. I was just doing it for myself as a way to relax. But when they decided to put my art up for sale, it felt like both my art and my feelings that I put into it were as worthless as the rest of the junk that they were selling it with. Ugh, everything is truly awful. The weight of the stress made my head hang low.
この絵はいくらかな？色使いがすごくいい。娘が気に入りそうだ。
Oh, here's a rich man. And probably, you know, the big guy himself.
おや、申し訳ない。こちらは売り物じゃなかったかな？
いえ、売り物です。
もしかして君が描いたの？
Yes, sirree. It felt so awkward as my face grew hot, but I managed to softly nod in response. That's when I saw him. Mr. Iwakura, with a wonderful smile on his face, began admiring my artwork with this incredibly sincere sense of earnesty. Oh my god, my heart is absolutely pounding. I've never had someone praise my art like this before. All of that sadness I was feeling just a minute ago had just completely vanished.
お取り込み中ちょっと失礼しますね。
どうしたの？
いちこ、あんたそろそろ出る時間でしょ。あるから中に戻りな。
まだいいよ。10分前で大丈夫だから。
無職のくせに何が大丈夫なんだか。院長がお偉いさんに頼んでこの日曜にわざわざ時間を作ってもらったんだからね。服も髪もちゃんとしてよ。院長に恥かかせないで。いい？
God damn it, I hate this so much. You're the one embarrassing yourself around here.
返事は
わかったから。ごめんなさい。私失礼します。
君、待ちなさい。仕事を探しているのならうちに来るといい。ちょうど住み込みの女中を募集していてね。
Oh, perfect.
興味があれば少し話でもどうかな。
私？
住み込みの女中？失礼ですがあなた。
おっと、その前にこの絵をもらうよ。手持ちがあまりないのだけれど2000円でどうだろう。
With those words, Amane gracefully slid 2 bills into a can that only had some loose change rattling around inside. That's big money in comparison. That was the first time I've ever seen paper glisten like that.
約束の時間まであと15分か。そうだ、せっかくだし。
Oh, we have a sketchbook. That's cool. I pulled the new sketchbook that I just bought yesterday out of my bag. I can definitely kill some time with this.
何を書こう。やっぱりあの天使かな。
Suddenly, beautiful emerald wings fluttered right past my face. They playfully danced around the fountain, and then gently landed on the shoulder of the sleeping angel as if they were taking a rest.
きれい。よし。
Wow.
こんな感じかな。
Yeah, that is indeed good. I really thought about giving up on my art, but Amane's words were powerful enough to get me to go buy a new sketchbook. He offered me food, clothing, and shelter with a more than adequate salary. He even said that I was free to pursue my hobbies as long as I did my work. Then he told me that I really need to create more art. Those words made me so happy. The staff members said that I shouldn't take him seriously, but I ended up buying not only a new sketchbook, but some extra new pencils as well.
かわいい。
It was a first page worth commemorating. For some reason, looking at this piece made me feel like everything will be okay.
これ一冊埋めるのは大変そうだけど、これからここでたくさん綺麗なものが描けたらいいな。よし、ちょうどいい時間だ。
I put the sketchbook back in my bag and then began walking towards the entrance.
カラス？どこだろう？庭の方かな？広すぎて見えないよ。
Yeah, that could be a bad sign. But let's ignore it. Let's just enjoy the happiness of the moment, right? What the fuck? What's going on there? What was that? Oh, someone's standing there. He's so big, I wonder if he's a security guard. This is a nice looking home, by the way. He followed me from the gate all the way to the entrance.
こんにちは。
Why is he watching me so intently? Did I do something wrong?
はじめまして。今日からお世話になる北川一子です。
Yikes, he's completely ignoring me. Maybe he's not allowed to talk to people or something like that. I feel like I remember someone telling me that that's the case at a castle in England. I managed to convince myself that I was correct and awkwardly forced myself to walk past this man who would no longer look me in the eye. Ah, that car. Next to the entrance, a jet black luxury car was parked in the driveway. This was the car that Amane got into when I saw him off that first day I met him. Nothing about any of this was a dream. Suddenly, the reality of the situation hit me all at once, and I was now very tense. This is absolutely not the time to start feeling nervous. Nah, nervousness is fine. And that's when I looked down at my watch and saw that it was now exactly the time that I was supposed to be here.
ごめんください。ごめんください。
Whoa. That is
ごめん
loud.
ください。
I then rang the doorbell, and I could hear a voice calling out from inside. That was when, as if someone was standing by waiting for me, the doorknob quickly made a clanking sound as it began to turn.
いちこくん、いらっしゃい。よく来たね。
Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, sketching and everything is fine, killing time if you're, like, really early, but it's still good to be early, you know? Not necessarily on the dot, in my opinion. The ceiling is so high.
暑かったろう。今日は30度を超えると聞いて驚いたよ。
Now, I will have to say his sprite is a little unnerving, but I'm sure I'll get used to it.
6月最後の
Maybe
日
it's
曜
just the
とはいえ
person himself, you know?
夏はまだ先だと思っていたんだけれど。
Just the entrance hall of this place alone is bigger than a normal person's entire house.
いちこくん、立ち止まっていないで。中へおいで。
はい。靴は。
そのままで構わないよ。我が家は海外からいらっしゃるお客様も多いから西洋式なんだ。
そうなんですね。それじゃあ。
Filled with hesitation, I nervously took my first step inside. I'm sure it is very awkward if, like, you know, the way that you've always gone about entering a home is now very different here. Like, I'm used to taking off my shoes in the cases of, like, entering a friend's home or something, like, if that's their deal. But that's, like, a huge, like, cultural custom in Japan, I'm sure, for taking off your shoes before you enter. It's something that you do everywhere. So to enter a home like this and you're told, yeah, you're good. Like, I'm sure that's got to feel like a little different, a little unnerving. I just needed to take another step and then another step. Wow. Even the sound of my footsteps and my cheap shoes echoes with an enchanting elegance. This is too much. It feels like I'm at a fancy ball or something. It reminds me of that famous, what is it called?
6名館。
Yeah, I have no idea.
ん？
あ、いえ、あんまり素敵な玄関ホールで、なんだか6名館みたいだなって。もちろん見たことはないので、想像ですが。
なるほど。やっぱり君は芸術家だね。すごくいい感性を持ってる。この屋敷は大正時代にイギリス人の建築家が設計したものなんだ。6名館ほど華美ではないけれど、同じく贅を尽くした空間だ。デザインも使われている素材も、この腰壁一つとっても彼や職人のこだわりが見て取れる。暖炉のマントルピースもそうだ。せっかくここで働くのだからね。時間をかけて屋敷中細部まで堪能するといい。
ありがとうございます。見せてもらうのが楽しみです。
ああ、他の部屋もきっと期待を裏切らない。と、疲れているのに立ち話で申し訳ないな。まずは君の部屋に案内するよ。少し休むといい。
I forgot that this is definitely live-in. I can't believe that my room is inside the residence itself. I figured I would be staying in a separate building or something. Amane led the way, with the sound of my footsteps following directly behind him. The floor creaked softly. I could faintly hear the sound of clothes rustling. It's so quiet. A little too quiet.
他の使用人の皆さんは。
通いはいるけれど、住み込みは君一人だ。
Oh, that's interesting.
まあでも、家事すべてを押し付けるつもりはないから、心配はいらないよ。部屋は2階だ。足元に気をつけて。
Oh boy, oh boy. No way. I didn't think for a second that I would be the only one. I wonder if things will be okay for me here.
いちこくん？
はい。
Things were not at all what I thought they would be, so that urge to just stop in my tracks was strong. Despite my slightly trembling legs, I forced myself to start climbing the stairs. This is a whole new world for her. And also, way too many crazy coincidental things are going to be happening here, aren't they? I could hear my heart pounding in my chest. What am I going to do if something happens?
ここを上がって正面が私の部屋で、いちこくんの部屋は左手の突き当たりにある。そして、
There's no way anyone would come here to help me.
その右隣が娘の部屋だ。
That's right, I forgot that he had a daughter. I mean, he bought the drawing for someone, obviously. The blood that quickly drained from my face came back and made my cheeks hot. Ah, that was close. Thank goodness I didn't say anything weird. No, but you can still do things weird. Damn, it's so spacious up here. What the fuck? This is wonderful. Damn, do I love big giant-ass houses and visual novels. I emerged from the staircase into a wide hallway. All of the closed door... Okay, well, I guess my Discord is letting me know that I've got a notification. My Discord's been acting up. Like, it doesn't go into its streamer mode anymore. It's so strange. All of the closed doors made it feel rather claustrophobic, while at the same time, the sunlight coming in from the skylights made it feel rather open. Being in a space where you could feel both of those sensations at the same time was pretty overwhelming.
正面が天音さんの部屋。
そう、元は主寝室として作られた部屋だけれど、妻が亡くなってから一度改装してね。階段の隣はバスルーム。風呂の時間は互いに気を使う必要があるけれど、基本的には自由に使ってもらって構わないよ。こっちは客間だ。とは言っても、もう2階にお客様をあげることは。
Amane suddenly cut himself off when he placed his hand on one of the doorknobs.
なんだ、アリア、起きていたのか。
Oh, here we go. Aria. I guess that's his daughter. That's a pretty uncommon name.
おいで、いちこくん。娘のアリアを紹介するよ。
Now that I think of it, I never asked how old she was. I wonder, maybe she's still pretty young. I did what was asked of me and stepped into the guest room. In that moment, I realized that any of my predictions about her were completely off base. I could only see the back of her as she gazed out the open window. She had long hair that went down to her waist, and her slender ankles were peeking out from under her skirt. She was clearly much taller than me, not to mention that aura she gave off. She doesn't seem like a child, so she's probably not younger than me.
Aria.
Amane called her name and urged her to greet me. She then calmly turned to face me. Here we go. It was in that moment. God damn. I'm sorry, I don't get all these references, but a Renoir, and I don't know how to pronounce it either. A Renoir painting stood before me. I suddenly remembered an art book that I had completely forgotten about. Somebody had donated it to the orphanage, and it was a rather large book. She had this dreamlike beauty. Her thin neck, small face, and big beautiful eyes were now facing me. Her black hair shined with a bluish tinge from the sunlight. It accentuated the translucency of the whiteness of her skin. It was like the window frame itself was framing a real-life painting. There, standing before me, exuding a beauty that had to be seen to be believed, was Amane's daughter, Aria Iwakura. Yeah, the sprites are really off-putting for some reason. Maybe it's because, like, they've got that gothic look, and then, like, the background is more like, I don't know, normal? I don't know, there's too much of a contrast, I'd have to say, but again, I'll get used to it, I'm sure. It helps the visual novel stand out a bit. You don't want everything to look the same, obviously, but her small face, ever so petite, neared me. The outlines of her lightly colored eyes came into view as they absorbed the light in the room. What should I do? Should I greet her first? Yeah, I guess I should. Oh, we actually get choices. Let's go. Hold out your hand or lower your head. I think we gotta lower our head on this one, honestly. Like, we need to show respect.
はじめまして、北川一子です。
Aria gave me a slight nod as I quickly bowed my head. Her quiet demeanor suggested that she is a person of few words. See, we would have to have some, like a crazy amount of courage in order to, like, you know, try to shake her hand. Sure, Western style and all here, but yeah, I think that's going a bit too far. Maybe it's because both her face and body were so doll-like, but I felt like she was rather cold and distant.
お父様、
ん？
この部屋、いつ家具の位置を変えたの？
ああ、おとといの夜だよ。手前半分を広めに使えるようにしたいと思ってね。
どうして？
ちょっとした考えがあるんだ。今は内緒にしておくけれど、アリアにもじきにわかるさ。
そう。
Interesting, she spoke softly as she slipped between us and made her way out of the room. As she got closer to me, a sweet scent that I had never smelled before softly filled my nostrils. What is that? It smells so good, like a mix of flowers, medicinal herbs, and citrus. I guess beautiful people have a lovely scent to them as well.
部屋に戻るのかい？
ええ。あまり具合が良くないの。
そうか。それならゆっくりお休み、アリア。
I mean, she doesn't even look all that well. Like, she's beautiful, yes, but her skin is so...
体が弱くてね。
Yeah, I guess you could say that it kind of aligns with a sense of frailness. She is very pale.
今日も一日寝ているかと思ったけれど、先に紹介できてよかったよ。さて、この部屋のことはどこまで話したかな？
I don't even know that. But it seems like we've got a little bit of a breeze. A mild breeze was rustling the curtains. She was just so beautiful. In my mind, I could still see her facing away from me in front of the frame. What a beautiful painting it would be. The girl depicted in it could turn to face me once again. When our eyes met, my throat got tight, and I had trouble breathing properly. I see we're in our own little world here.
それじゃ、また1時間後に。
Oh, is this our room? Oh, yeah, it's a room. It's very spacious, actually, once you head over to the other part of it.
こんなの聞いてない。
Just when I thought I was able to breathe again, the thoughts I had in my mind came spilling out into words as I exhaled. The attractiveness of the person I'm working for has nothing to do with me, but wow, I almost felt like I was betrayed. Like I took a sneak attack straight to the face.
あんなに綺麗な人がそばにいたら、毎日緊張してしょうがない。
My heart was still beating like mad, and wasn't showing any signs of slowing down.
ああ、もう、しっかりしなきゃ。
I took some deep breaths to try and bring myself back to equilibrium, then took my time as I looked around the room. Suddenly, I felt as if my field of vision was slowly starting to expand.
前は仏間だったって言ってたっけ？
Yeah, Amane mentioned that to me when he was telling me about the rooms. The ceiling seemed to be quite elaborate. It resembled a go board made of latticed square timber. It's so cool that I can look up at the ceiling when I lie down every night. I wouldn't say that this room is all that big, but it is both beautiful and comfortable, and I think that's what's really important. You don't need a huge amount of space for like a living or like a resting area, I guess you could say. So I think this is totally fine, but you know, if it has to feel good, you know, it has to look good, it has to have that good vibe. So I think that's definitely what this room has, at the very least. To think that they would let me use a room like this. Feeling incredibly grateful towards Amane, I began to unpack my belongings. Not like it would take very long with the small amount of things I brought. I put my pajamas and underwear away, after which I quickly found myself feeling pretty bored.
そういえば仕事着を入れておいたってここかな。
Damn, I really gotta adjust the sound settings. Like, I will adjust them once I edit this video, but I really gotta, like, work on it. I casually opened up one of the drawers to find 2 sets of clothes in the color, neatly folded and tucked away.
この生地すべすべ。私の普段着よりずっと高そう。
I slipped the dress over my head and tied the apron that was lying underneath the dress. I tied the ribbon in the back nice and tight, and unbeknownst to me in that moment, I began to smile. A brand new maid's uniform that fits me like a glove, a beautiful fountain visible from my window. It all makes me nervous, but at the same time, it is not the least bit unpleasant. I can't remember any other time in my life where I felt like this. It was a quiet room where nobody can hear me talk to myself. Well, you don't know that. It feels like another lifetime ago when I was silently crying in my 3-person company dorm room last month. Maybe I can finally get a fresh start here. I was 16 years old. Here I was living on my own right at the beginning of adulthood.
よし。着替えも済んだし、そろそろ。ってあれ、まだ30分しか経ってない。
I'm surprised that much time has passed.
どうしよう。せっかくだし、今のうちに2階の部屋を見て回ってみようかな。
Every room in this house is going to be a workplace, so I should be able to come and go as I please. With Amane's words echoing in my mind, I quickly put them into action and began moving.
まずは、どの部屋から見てみよう。
Did we get a choice? We do! Yeah, wow, you can move around inside the mansion, alright. Okay, so we can go to Amane's room, we can go back to the guest room, or the bathroom. Okay. Wow. I'm actually, like, I really like this. I like this whole idea here. Like, sure, this could just be like a list prompt like we always see in visual novels, right? But here this gives you an idea of the house a little bit better than the backgrounds could really ever do. I mean, sure, it assists, but like, yeah, here's the stairs straight ahead. That is Amane's room, like we were told. And then, here's our room, to the left. So, I don't know, like, I dig that. I dig that really, really much here. Okay, so where should we go? You can even see a little bit of the downstairs too, which doesn't seem like we can access, but I kind of want to go back to the guest room, but also visiting Amane's room. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know why we would go to the bathroom. I guess we could. Now, the guest room is in red. Why is that in red? Why is this shaded red? Well, whatever. Let's go to the guest room. I can feel the after effects of what happened earlier. Standing in the same place Aria did before, I could feel my heart beating softly. Looking at the room from there, I noticed that the furniture and decor in the room was not only tasteful, but it matched with the rest of the residence's interior quite well.
蓄音機にレコード。誰の趣味だろう。
On top of the glass shelves were a bunch of Western-style figurines arranged in a well-balanced, aesthetically pleasing way.
天使がいっぱい。かわいい顔。
There were 7 angel figurines in all. Among them was an angel with this charming, gentle look on its face that really caught my eye. What was its name? Getting back to the sketching here.
いや、ガブリエル。
Gabrielle.
他の子の名前は。あ、びっくりした。棚に腕が。ここにあるものって絶対全部高いよね。壊さないように気をつけなきゃ。
Yeah, especially if you're going to be working as a maid here. Oh, okay. Looks like we're already done here. I don't know why that one was shaded in red. Maybe it's like we absolutely needed to go there first or something. But it seems like we can actually still visit these other areas. So let's go to the bathroom next. Why not? Now this is a fucking bathroom. Holy shit. This looks really nice. It's so spacious, not to mention incredibly stylish. The bathtub is also deep enough so that you can easily immerse yourself in it. The changing room and the toilet are both neat and tidy. It really makes me wonder if it's okay for me to use this room. Oh, well, that was easy. We can go back to the guest room. Interesting. I guess let's go to Amane's room. Might as well, right?
ここが天音さんの部屋。
He really did rearrange it to be a bit of a working space too. Like he still, sleeps in here, but he's obviously working in here too. It was an opulent room with eye-catching wallpaper and decor with red and gold tones. The vibe in here is a bit different from the rest of the house. I guess this is just his personal preference. There's lots of very expensive looking things around the room. Look at that huge camera, it's so cool. Okay, well, that was that. Now what do we do? Because technically we've gone and seen everything. Doesn't seem like we can go downstairs unless I'm like missing something. I mean, we can cancel. Maybe that's how we wrap up this whole thing. What if we go back to the guest room, for example? Oh yeah, Mr. Amane mentioned that he rearranged the furniture in here. It seemed like he had some meaningful reason to do so. Maybe he thought that his daughter would like it. There's something behind it. Okay, so there's like little extras if you actually go back to each room. The bathroom is both cool and comfortable. Okay, not much here, I guess. If I open the window, I see you can spot the driveway from here. Yeah, I mean, just little extra tidbits, I suppose. Which is fine. Wait a second. It looks like the phone on the desk is off the hook. That's kind of strange. But there might be a reason for that. I really shouldn't just hang it up without saying anything. Who knows what would happen? I think I'll just leave it alone for now. I mean, back in the day, that would probably, like, raise a pretty good, oh, wait, no, I don't want to go back to the title screen. Yeah, okay, we'll stop moving. Gotta be careful with what buttons I press here. I'm gonna have the same issues I had in my first take. Each room is both beautiful and charming in its own way. It's fun just to look around, so I don't feel like cleaning them will be such a chore.
そういえば、使用人は私一人なんだよね。家事全部は頼まないって言ってたけど、どうなるんだろう。
Lost in thought, I glanced over at the clock to see that an hour had now passed. I guess it's too late to worry about those things at this point. I looked at myself in the mirror and adjusted my collar. I then took a big deep breath.
よし、行こう。
I stepped out of my room, which I had already begun to get a little attached to, which is good. Time to get to it, right? Right? There we go.
ああ、コーヒーのいい匂い。
いちこくん、来たね。おいで。こっちで話そう。
Oh, will do.
はい。
What a huge window. You can clearly see the garden from here.
せっかくだから外が見える席に座るといい。ここで。
ありがとうございます。広い。綺麗なお庭ですね。花がたくさん。
この小食堂はブレックファストルームと呼ばれていてね。気分よく朝食をとるために設計された部屋なんだ。
That's crazy. When you're so rich and you have so many rooms in your home, you can just designate a room for each time of the day. So breakfast here, lunch somewhere else, and dinner in the dining room.
私も気に入っているけれど、景色が寂しくならないよう、年中植え替えが必要だから、管理にはなかなか苦労しているよ。
Even from here, I can't quite tell how far back the garden spans. I'm sure it really is tough to maintain an area this big.
さて、焼き菓子でもどうかな。ここから好きなものを選ぶといい。コーヒーはもう少し。
The hot water ran down from the thin spout and then disappeared into the paper filter. The coffee's rich, deep aroma began to spread throughout the room. What a handsome man. Now, he is a good-looking guy. It feels weird to say it at this point, but Mr. Amane is far from ordinary looking. He's both tall and refined, so he looks good even when he's just standing around. Huh? Wait, what am I thinking? His daughter bears some resemblance to him, but at the same time doesn't. When I see him like this, maybe Mr. Amane is actually the more doll-like of the two?
なんだい？何か質問かな？
いえ、その。
You and your daughter look so much alike. Yes, I have. What's the question, though? We can either just make a comment or... You know what? We're just gonna make the comment.
ごめんなさい。親子でよく似ていらっしゃると思って、つい。
よく言われるよ。自覚はあまりないけれど、どうやらそのようだね。
I actually don't really see it, but we'll just make the comment, because I have no idea what the fuck the question was going to be. That makes sense. I mean, they are both incredibly good looking. I'm sure his late wife must have been gorgeous as well.
悪くない。いちこくんも、さあ、どうぞ。
すみません。ありがとうございます。
それじゃあ、改めて本題に入ろうか。いちこくんにお願いしたい仕事は、掃除が中心にはなるのだけれど、他にも頼みたいことがいくつかあってね。まずは、ここに書かれた仕事を問題なくこなせるようになってもらえると助かるよ。
What are the tasks? Amane then reached into his pocket and handed me a white piece of paper. Yeah, what do we got? Collect the sheets and laundry in a special basket and place them outside the service entrance to the kitchen before noon. Okay, seems simple enough. The paper he handed me had 5 tasks written down with all the specific details I needed.
大まかだけれど、やるべきことは分かりそうかな？
はい。このリストすごく助かります。いつまでに何をやらなきゃいけないのか分かりやすくて。
それはよかった。実際にやってみると分からないことも出てくるだろうけれど、その時は相談してくれればいいからね。
ありがとうございます。あれ、でも掃除とこのリスト以外の仕事は誰が？
うん。その話もしておかないとね。まず、どうして住み込みの使用人がいちこくんだけなのか。
Yeah, let's get some details here, man. Almost as if he suddenly remembered something, Amane took a sip of coffee and continued on.
今はとても静かだけれど、以前はここで10人以上の使用人が働いていたんだよ。
Okay. What happened to them?
みんなにはとても助けられていた。でも、それだけ人が多いと問題も多くてね。盗みはもちろん、人間関係で何度か大きな揉め事も。そういういざこざに年々疲れてしまってね。最終的には、利点と欠点を天秤にかけて、人のいない気楽さを取った。
That must be why, aside from daily cleaning, that he has outside help from for the other chores. There's a nearby dry cleaners that takes care of the laundry every day, and someone from a local Western restaurant comes in to prepare all of the meals. I never imagined that one could live like this. I guess it's easier than having people always in your house and dealing with the uneasiness of that. Especially if there's that lack of trust.
けれど、それでこと足りるかといえば、そうとも言えなくてね。私たちと彼らの間をつなぐ役割を君に担ってもらえると、とても助かるんだよ。
Taking out the laundry baskets to be picked up and then washing the dishes after meals. As I read through this list of tasks, I realized that it painted a perfect picture of all the things that must have caused Amane trouble in the past. I had to do various chores everywhere I've been, so I feel like I can handle this. Granted, it's not necessarily easy work, but I'm relieved to know that everything I'm being asked to do is something that I'm at least somewhat familiar with or have some experience doing.
あとは、アリアといい関係を築いてくれれば、それが一番かな。
I mean, trust is a huge thing if you're going to be living here. Oh, since I'm the only housemaid here, That's only natural that I would be looking after her as well.
聞いてもいいですか？お嬢様はどんな方なんでしょう？
アリアかい？とても素直でいい子だよ。それにとても美しい。
That is true.
それは見ればわかるかな。
はい。あんな綺麗な人、映画の中でも見たことない。
うん、私も親ながらそう思うよ。しかしあれだけ容姿が際立っていると幼少期は危険な目に遭うことも多くてね。だが幸いというべきではないのだろうけれど、体が弱いこともあってずっと自宅学習でね。屋敷から出ずに過ごすようになってからは比較的平穏に暮らしているよ。今はここへ来るお客様をもてなすことがアリアの仕事のようなものかな。
That's unbelievable. I can't even imagine living like that. I wonder how long it's been since she last left the house. Must be hard being both that beautiful and so physically weak.
その
It's the trade-off.
仕事、ここへ来るお客様っていうのは？
私の友人知人もいれば仕事の関係者も多いよ。当然誰でも招待するわけではないけれどね。アリアの話は表立ってしないようにはしていても噂を聞いて会いたがる者も多い。それが他国の要人だってこともある。
Important people. I guess he means politicians or something.
もちろん岩倉の名前に集まってくる者もそれには未だに手を焼いているよ。
The Iwakura name. As soon as Amane uttered those words, a conversation I heard a few days ago at the orphanage between a contractor and one of the staff members crossed my mind. What was it?
あの子がこんな幸運を隠し持ってたなんてな。ありゃ、名字からしても旧家族のもんだろう。実はさ、見せてもらった住所の家、ちょっくら見てきたんだけど、本当にバカでかいなんてもんじゃねえって。家族じゃないなら、堅気じゃねえなってくらい。俺も若い女なら、色目でも使って雇ってもらうのにな。
Ah, that was so gross. Just remembering what he said made me want to puke. But I'll give him a little credit, because it doesn't seem like he was wrong. I don't know what flavor of nobility they could have been, but based on what I just heard from Amane, it certainly seems like the Iwakura name carries some historical significance.
無理はしないよういつも言っているのだけれどね。アリアなりに私の立場を考えてくれているようで、堅苦しい場にもいつも同席してくれるんだ。ただ人と関わるのは本当にその時くらいでね。年の近い相手と話すことはまずないから、そういう機会があればとずっと思っていたんだよ。
Now I get it. I can't help but wonder if someone like me would be a good conversation partner for her. I'm sure if he looked around, he could find a more suitable person than me.
過去にいた女中さんはどんな風にお嬢様と接していたんでしょう？
そうだな。仲の良かった女中はいたけれど、彼女なんかは幼い頃からの付き合いだったからね。成長してからはどうだろう。数ヶ月前までいた前任者は参考にならないからな。
前任者？
ああ。彼女はアリアと全く気が合わなくて、ね。
Wow.
あの子がクビにしてしまったんだ。
So you absolutely 100% must get along with Aria.
クビですか？
参ったよ。アリアも一度決めたことは曲げない性格だから。でも、イチコ君は心配いらない。年の離れていた彼女と違って、君は同い年だ。
That's probably some of the reason as to why he hired her.
二人ならきっとうまくいくよ。私はそう思ってる。
Well, I'm glad he's so optimistic. But just because we're the same age doesn't mean everything will be going okay. Wait, he really just said that we're the same age? Seriously?
おや。コーヒーに手をつけていないね。苦いのはあまり得意じゃなかったかな？
実はでも焼き菓子と一緒なら平気です。いただきます。
無理することはないよ。砂糖とミルクをたっぷり使うといい。実はアリアも苦いものが苦手でね。ほら、また共通点が見つかった。
Perfect. We could already be making progress. If that's enough to make us get along, then I'll take it.
もうこんな時間か。1階の案内をと思っていたのだけれど。
What are you talking about?
難しそうだな。
It's still daylight outside.
お仕事ですか？
ああ、ちょっと急ぎのものがあってね。仕事は明日からで構わないから、今日はどこでも好きに見て回るといい。
Damn, you are putting a lot of trust into us already here.
2階はどうだった？自分の部屋以外も見てみたかい？
はい。天音さんのお部屋もとても素敵で。
ありがとう。壁紙がお気に入りでね。
No, it definitely stands out.
それじゃ、私は書斎に。何かあればいつでも声をかけていいからね。
わかりました。お忙しいところお時間をいただきありがとうございました。
堅苦しい礼なんか必要ないよ。これは雇い主の責務だ。やるべきことはすぐにわかるようになるだろうから、ゆっくり慣れていくといい。気をせいてもいいことはないから。いいね。
His voice was so calm and composed. I nodded my head and then Amane gently narrowed his eyes at me before leaving the breakfast room. He seems like an alright guy, but of course, he has to be hiding something. I don't know what and I don't know how, but, you know, really also who's to say. I heard the sound of a door closing in the distance and felt my shoulders instantly relax in that moment. I really ended up in an unbelievable house, didn't I? I listened carefully to everything he said, but I don't know if I really understood at the time just how amazing it all was. But at least I know what's going to be expected of me for work. I just need to make that my top priority and make sure I do my job well.
まずはゆっくり慣れていく。
Mr. Amane really is an incredibly kind gentleman. He's really difficult to get a read on, though. Yeah, that I agree with. I probably shouldn't rely on him too much. It made me feel a bit empty inside knowing that I can't just accept his kind words at face value. Still, when I can think like that, I feel I can hold my head up high.
よし。とりあえず今は1階を見て回って。
More exploration? Potentially?
あれ？今の何の音だろう？
Okay, maybe not. Yeah, what was that? What do we got going on here? I stepped into the adjoining room when I was trying to track down, or while I was trying to track down the sound I just heard.
ここは大食堂？
My footsteps echo louder in here than anywhere else I've been in the house. It's big enough where it could be used as a dance hall. This wall is made of a different material. I think it's called a partition. This one feels like it's a little taller than the one in the entrance hall.
あそこに彫ってあるのは果物？
I looked up and saw an intricately decorated white ceiling. I wanted to look around and admire the beauty of this room some more, but it didn't seem like the sound came from here. All of the windows were closed, and there was no sign of anyone around.
あれ？この壁の小窓、配線口？ということは隣は。
Oh, I think I see what we got going on
や
here.
っぱり厨房だ。
There was a pantry connected to it, or with an opening in the wall facing the dining room that had a huge serving table set up. Even though there's only 2 people living here, this kitchen is bigger than the one at the orphanage. I guess it would really come in handy if they ever do big parties in the dining room.
結局さっきの音は何だったんだろう？やなり？
I mean, yeah. Somebody's here.
重い。
But who is that? That sure caught me off guard.
これでやっと最後か。もうなんで今日に限ってこんなに暑いの？
Was she the one making that noise? Maybe I heard the back door close. Looks like there's bottles of liquor in these boxes, so maybe she's from the liquor store.
うわあ、びっくりした。あなたは、もしかして新しい女中さん？いつからいた？今来たとこ？ごめんね、全然気づかなくて。今日からだって天音さんに聞いてたのに。私、宮内すいです。この家のご飯係。
Oh, cool.
ご飯係ってことは近所の洋食屋さんの。
そうそう、キッチンプリウス。岩倉家には2年前から家族でお世話になってるんだけど、この春から普段の食事は私一人で全部やらせてもらってるんだ。
Whoa. She does this all on her own? That's incredible.
それで女中さんのお名前は？
北川いちこです。
いくつ
16。
じゃあ同い年だ。
What?
なんか嬉しい。よろしくね、いちこ。私のこともスイって呼んで。
Why is everyone so young? How old is Amane? I felt a bit overwhelmed by her bright and expressive mannerisms that clashed with her otherwise cool yet tense features. Nevertheless, I somehow managed to nod along to what she was saying and...
ちなみに、まかないも任されてるから、リクエストがあったらこっそり言ってね。
Okay, yeah, you're cool. Sui said this with a smile as she flashed me with perfectly aligned teeth. Her casual and down-to-earth demeanor just naturally puts me at ease. I've hardly had the chance to meet anyone my own age ever since I graduated from junior high school, and yet somehow I managed to meet two people my age today. Aria and Sui. I guess everyone around here has interesting, unique names. I'm just Ichiko.
さてとりあえずこれ台にあげちゃわないと。おいしょっと。
Yeah, don't break anything. That's our job.
待って、ダメかも。
なにこれ、重っ。
Ah, jeez.
落とさなくてよかった。ありがとう、いちこ。今日は荷物運びが多くって、もう体力使い切っちゃったみたい。
すごいよ、こんなに重いもの。よく一人で運べたね。
腕力には自信あるんだ。毎日食材の積み下ろしをしてるから。でも今日みたいな暑い日くらいみんな助けてくれたっていいじゃんね。そこの守衛さんなんて目があっても見て見ぬふりだよ。天音さんにはいっつもペコペコしてるくせに。
I see. I feel like I learned something about this guy. Sui's so full of emotion when she talks, I could listen to her all day. She went through a wide range of ever-changing expressions as she told me more stories. I nodded along attentively. Before I knew it, with kitchen knife in hand, Sui had all the ingredients she was going to use neatly lined up on the counter. I looked on with bewilderment as she both quickly and evenly chopped up the potatoes or all the potatoes on the cutting board. Wow, she really is a professional.
料理はいつもここで作ってるの？
日によるかな。最近はうちの店で作ってからここへ持ってくることが多いかも。ちなみに今日はビーフシチュー。私の得意料理だから期待してて。
Oh man, I can always go for a good old stew. I typically go for the beef stews. She's amazing. I felt like she instantly switched from shooting me with a friendly smile to intensely focusing on her handiwork. I know we're the same age, but Sui seems way more self-reliant and grown up to me. Or than me. This really isn't the time for me to be daydreaming. I should take this opportunity to check out the rooms I have not seen yet, so I can do things right when I start working tomorrow. Off we go to explore, right? Yeah, here we go. Alright, now we're on the first floor. Alright, so the sunroom seems to be the one shaded in red. I guess that's like the important one that we need to go and visit, so we'll get that one out of the way. I'm assuming that's what that means. And goddamn.
おしゃれなサンルーム。ここからも庭が見渡せるんだ。
Is that a dream catcher? I've always admired the sunrooms I spotted at rich people's houses in my neighborhood, but this one thoroughly puts any of those to shame. Both the size and design are on another level.
あれ、庭に人がいる?
The heat haze made it a bit hard to see, but that was definitely a tall man. He had a stepladder slung on his right shoulder, and a huge pair of pruning scissors in his other hand. It seemed like he was tending to the garden in this heap all by himself. I mean, this garden is massive. There's no way it could be maintained without a gardener. It made sense when I thought about it. The idea that someone would have a dedicated gardener at their home is still something else. Sometimes you have to. Alright, what else we got going on here? I guess we can check out the drawing room. What does the drawing room have going on here? I think this is the drawing room where they entertain guests. The exquisite furniture is arranged beautifully.
おしゃれな窓。こういうのなんて言うんだっけ？ステンドグラス?
It felt like walking into a church that you would find overseas. There's another door in here. Let's see. Oh, looks like it's connected to the sunroom. Oh, that's nifty. I dig it. Alright, I guess we can check out the storeroom, where they store stuff. This looks like this looks a little dusty. I guess that's because there hasn't been anyone else working at the house. It's pretty tidy for the most part, but it still looks a bit messy with all the things piled up. Yeah, that'll happen. Let us go back to the breakfast room, just kind of check that room out again. This door has a large glass window. I can get out to the terrace from here. There's a small table and some chairs. I guess they eat out here sometimes. I never even imagined being able to do such elegant things. Okay, I'll go check out the dining room one more time, as well as the kitchen. Might as well. What a grand chandelier. It makes me wonder if it'd come crashing down in an earthquake. No, they keep those pretty well, like, bolted in. Or at least that's what I'd like to assume. Oh my, something smells wonderful.
いい匂いでしょう。ビーフシチューのお肉、野菜とは別で炒めてるんだ。いちこ、ちょっと味見してみなよ。
Oh, we can't say no to that, can we?
待ってね。ちょっぴり塩コショウしてっと。はい、フォーク。
ありがとう。じゃあ、一つだけ。このお肉、おいしい。
でしょ？私が言うのもなんだけど、焼くだけで美味しいお肉って本当に焼くだけでいいと思うんだよね。だってそれが一番美味しいもん。
確かにそうなのかも。でも私はスイのビーフシチューもすごく楽しみ。
ありがとう。焼いただけ肉に負けないように頑張ります。
Oh, fingers crossed. Alright, we won't revisit any of the other rooms. We'll just we'll cancel and say yes to stop moving. By the way, I've seen this font here, like, so many times. It's like a default Windows font, I think. Which, you know, it is whatever, but I know that they're just trying to go for the theme.
なんとなくだけど、これで全体の間取りが分かった気がする。
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident with this house layout. It's not too big, not too small. I think it's reasonable. It's grandiose. Like, it's pretty crazy, and I'm sure there's some secrets lying about here. However, we're going to return to the title screen, and yes, thank you for playing the trial version, indeed. Yeah, we'll call it on that one. There's probably a little bit more left remaining on the scenario that we were in. I don't know what her body and then Aria and Ichiko necessarily, you know, what those can be about, but especially that third one, who's to say? But no, please try out the trial version and check out the scenarios if there has been any interest that has definitely stuck with you through watching this video. I hope there has been. There are no plans for me to do a Let's Play of this title whatsoever. I hope to be able to do a review of this, though I really don't know how big this title will be. It is actually really interesting, and my curiosity is piqued as to what sort of direction things could go, because, I mean, as we saw just, like, less than a minute ago, and also in the opening sequence, there's going to be some happenings. In what ways, I have absolutely no idea, but I think that adds to the excitement that this title can present. Again, it's mages. I mean, there's a lot of there's been a lot of success with their stories. So hopefully there's some good success here. People have said good things about this title. Like I said, the community is really, you know, hyped for this one to be coming to the West. And I hope for the success of it, truly. So this was Iwakura Aria. Thank you again to P-Cube for coming through and allowing me to jump in just a little bit early here on the trial version. And I hope I'll be able to jump in and get to reading this very soon so I can get a review or something going for you guys and help convince you guys whether or not this is a title for you. But thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. Again, big thanks to P-Cube. And yeah, feel free to check out any of my other videos here on the channel. I've done other one-offs before and currently in some massive playthroughs, so feel free to check out the other visual novels or games I'm currently recording. Thank you all for coming by, and I'll see you guys in another video. Take it easy.